Hi, Grace Fellowship. I'm Nate Fuller. I work for the Navigators at the University of Missouri, and I'm just making a quick little video for you guys to essentially see kind of what my ministry is about with my wife Jenna and our 3 kids. So this is the rest of the family and our natural environment. And what's your name? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Ava.
And?
Hi, I'm David.
And you are, little one? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Eden.
So you can get a glimpse as to what we're giving our lives to. So when Jesus says in Luke 10:2, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few, I believe that to the very core of me, that the harvest field is just filled with people who are dying to know and find life. And the problem isn't them. The problem isn't this generation of college student. It isn't the culture that we live in. It isn't any myriad of reasons. The harvest is plentiful. There are people waiting to know him. The problem that Jesus identifies isn't the generation. It's that there isn't enough laborers. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. The workers, the ones that go into the field and do the work of bringing in the harvest. And Jesus' solution to that problem was, therefore beseech the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest field. So I feel like it is my job, and it is my calling, my family's calling, to plead with the Lord, God, give us a few more laborers, and then to walk into the harvest field and try to harvest some and raise them up. If I were to recap succinctly how my team raises up laborers and sends them out, it is 1, we impart the gospel. 2, we disciple people and help them allow the gospel to shape their identity. And 3, we coach people on how to reach their own relational network by essentially becoming their own ministry starter. We want to know him, make him known, and help others do the same. Here's a quick glimpse of what it's looked like to impart the gospel at the beginning of the school year. Our goals for these surveys was to share our testimony and the gospel in person and to invite students to lunch.
This is really fun for me. These gals right here are sharing the gospel with somebody for the first time. So is today like one of the first times you've gotten to share the gospel with anybody?
Yeah, it was. Came up to the guy, talked to him, got to know him a little bit.
What was it like sharing the gospel for the first time?
It was great getting to meet new people I've never talked to, some people who have never heard about Jesus or the gospel.
In terms of batting average, we're not doing so bad. So
Yeah, it's been 15 minutes. You shared the gospel with 2 people.
That is a blessing. Yep.
How fun is that? So we kind of take this piece of paper and we just explain how Jesus addresses sin and brokenness in the world and how he brings restoration into our lives. And people have been really receptive to it, which is super fun. We're having like an 88% success rate at sharing the gospel with people.
Noah, the guy that was talking about his batting average, after I stopped recording there, he told me, he looked me straight in the eye and he goes, I think I was born for this. And I went, yes, Noah, you were born for this. So we did that week 1 and 2 of school. And then we invited anybody who was interested to start reading the Bible with us. So that's where we are right now. With COVID, things are pretty micro versus macro. So we can't meet in large groups, but we can meet in small groups. And that's what we've been doing. I've been teaching my students how to open the Bible with their new friends that they met while sharing the gospel. Teaching them how to help somebody else have a quiet time, how to study the scriptures, how to understand all the different aspects of the gospel and how it should affect their life. And we're having a blast. They have these experiences of helping other people, and I get to send them. So here's 2 examples. I sent a guy named Dylan into med school at Auburn, and he came to know Jesus at Mizzou. So we got to establish what it looks like to be a believer for this kid. Didn't have a mom, grew up in a barn, didn't know the gospel. And we spent 4 years ministering to this guy, helping him learn the gospel and share it with his social network on campus. Gets to Auburn, he's been there 2 months, and he shared the gospel with his roommates, sharing the gospel with people in his med program. He's starting to read the Bible with people because that's his definition of what a Christian does. They know Jesus and they make him known. And he's been doing this, capturing the attention of some prominent people within his program who are doctors. And a doctor approached him and said, "You're doing what I wish I had time to do and what I wish I knew how to do. I'd like to give you $2,000 a month just to get these people together and to feed them. And I mean nice meals. You take them wherever you want to go. You make the time, and I'll make sure that you have the resources that you need to see the kingdom advance." My goodness, that's fun. That kid's never going to go into full-time missions, but he's going to be a surgeon, and he's going to influence the people around him for Jesus. Oh, man, if I could just make 20 Dylans every single year, that would be a joy. Another guy named Matt, who's like one of Dylan's best friends because they came to know Jesus around the same time at Mizzou. He graduated this past year as well, and he's like, I think I should like do this with my life. I'm like, great, man. What campus do you want to start? And we started talking about him pioneering a campus. And I sent him and a grad from another school who was on staff to go start, or to recruit a team and start the University of Missouri in Kansas City. And right now he's doing the same thing that I'm doing. Walk to campus. I try to find people who are willing to talk about Jesus, who are desirous of life, to find the people that God's already moving in. And he's starting to meet with people one-on-one. He's starting the little Bible studies. And he's leading people to Jesus. Man. If I could just make a bunch of little Matt Hossels, I think we'll just ransom many. I think I can look at them just the same way that John looked at me, and I can see the hundreds of people that are going to come to know Jesus through the lives of these common laborers, these people who are just willing to do the work.
But it's also a joy to send people from the University of Missouri and some of the other campuses Jen and I have worked at to lead full-time missions work other places in the world. I stopped counting at 67, but these were just the ones that I could think of off the top of my head. And I pray that you guys would consider joining us in this joyous work of sending out laborers and partnering with us in this work.